Welcome back to another episode. I am your host, Danteese, and today, my good people, definitely want to talk to the young adults, the high school, the college kids. All that this episode is catered to y'all. Adults, y'all stay here. Men, that's cool with me too. So y'all can be able to inform y'all little. So today's episode will be touching bases on the importance of financial aid. What? It's more to it than just you filling out the FAFSA and just getting the money. Yes, it's way more to that. A lot of y'all may be going to a 4-year college, maybe going to a private university, uni, like a Ivy League school, or some of y'all may be going to a 2-year. And that's fine, whatever you choose, because some people, they don't want that pressure that, the 4-year puts on them at an early time in your life. Because you just getting out of high school, you don't really know how college works. It's a big campus. Stuff is way more harder than high school can prepare you for, especially if you have a whole, I think it's now, most colleges is 8 classes that you can take up to if you're doing the academic route. So you have to prepare yourself. It's a time consuming. Now, do you have some people that just go out and go party and all the other type of stuff? Yeah, you definitely do. But guess what? They are in $50,000 a day, $80,000 a day, and still paying off on that debt to this day. And hopefully you don't want to be one of them people that pretty much have debt until, they transition from this world. And that's the saddest part about college. It's to the point now where a lot of people can't even really afford it. We have a lot of women are going and graduating college, and I'm so happy with it. And you have men, we have less men that are doing it. And it could be for multiple reasons. They don't really go to college. They actually go to college. A lot of people just go to mingle. At the same time, they drop out and get trades. They become a CDL driver. They get into firefighting. They get into all these other type of fields of life. You got prompts to write. You have a lot of stuff that you have to do, especially if you have a full set of classes. People nowadays don't understand the concepts of literally having all of this workload on you and having a job to manage that. Because not only do you have to be on top of your stuff, but if you get behind, depending on how fast your classes go, because I'm pretty sure some classes last up to like a month, they can swallow you whole. You learn one thing one week, next week you want something different. And it wasn't adaptable to me because, hell, we were just on the Pythagorean theorem. Now we working with decimals today. Like, just giving you an example. Financial aid is for people that, the less fortunate, people that have to go to school and stuff like that, and they have to get a certain amount of money. They can get a certain amount of money if applicable for the situation. But if you're not, which if you coming from like a 2-parent household, they got good jobs, they're making a decent amount of money, that's a less financial aid you're going to get. Meaning, if you don't have scholarships, grants, you most definitely finna pay a lot of money out of pocket. And it's hard, and it sucks. And I see now, like Ivy League schools are setting regulations up to where if a parent makes below a certain amount of money, like $200,000 or whatever the case may be, they're making tuition free because it's so many people that are struggling with this epidemic. And I'm glad that they're doing this. They should have been implementing this because we need it. It's a bunch of people that can't even finish school or didn't even graduate because they got so deep in a hole trying to go to classes. Tuition by itself can make you go do this. Like, tuition itself can make you go into a hole. Because you be like, I'm just trying to go take my test and leave. Like, I'm trying to go do the classes I need so I can graduate. And it's like, okay, fine. Do you have this $8,000 you need? And then it's worse if you stay on campus. I have a friend who I talked to, she told me a dormitory with a person living in it with you is $4,000. That's a down payment on a car. And it's $6,000 if you staying in a single dormitory. Huh? What? It's unreal. Financial aid ain't gonna be able to cover that. That money is gone. Because a lot of people can't work online, so they have to go to school. Doing online classes definitely will put you at a deficit because especially if you're not used to the type of material and you need to go to school. But if you go to school somewhere that is 2 states over and you stay in a country or somewhere, You don't want to keep commuting 5 hours just to go to school, just to understand the problem. So people stay on campus. And ain't nothing wrong with staying on campus, but people, I want to tell you something. Do not depend on your financial aid to save you. It's basically like reserve money that they can use. They gonna eat up all your financial aid money, then they gonna come after you. The colleges do not care about your situation at all. They don't care if you struggling. If you want to take this class, you gonna pay me this cash. They don't want to hear it. Then you already have a lot of administrators and people that's inside that building not doing their job. They don't really care. They just send up there. Well, there's nothing I can do for you, honey. I don't know what you can always talk to your advisor and see what she's. Then that's when they start. Well, you can take off a health loan or unsolicited loan, or that's when they start propositioning you different loans. They feed you with it. You like, oh, well, I guess I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta take out that loan and pay it back. Don't pay that loan back by the time you graduate, and watch what it becomes to. Why do you think there's so many people that still dealing with college debt and ain't been in the school by 20-something years? It accrues interest. When you ignore it and act like it don't exist, they ain't gonna stop sending you no mail. They ain't gonna forget to keep checking in with you. Hey, you got this left on your balance. Hey, you need to make this minimum payment a month. If you let your debt go into collections, it's over with for you. Well, it ain't over with, but it takes a lot to get out of there. Because if you're not in the situation to actually apply yourself to get up out of it, you're going to be stuck in that rat hole. And I know people that's dealing with that now. Even, like I said, I made a vow to myself. I will never take out no loan in no college, period. And I stayed true to that until I graduated. Yeah, did it suck not having no money and not running to my parents every time I had a problem, I had to go buy something? Yeah, it sucked a lot. But at the same time, it taught me, like, if I knew I needed to go handle this situation, I didn't have time to go cry and mope and complain like how life doing me so wrong and this and that and this and that. I didn't have time for that. I had to go do what I had to do. It ain't about what you don't want to do. It's what you gotta do. And I wanted that diploma. Like, that's what I work hard for. I didn't sit in these classes stressed out dealing with these teachers, because you have professors that act like they so superior. Like, I literally got yelled at in an email. How is that even possible? Like, I felt offended. I was like, big boy on ATL. That was so disrespectful. But it's a mindset thing, people. Not about just going to school, and college is built up. Oh, you gotta build connections, you gotta do this and that. Yeah, you gotta network and put yourself out there. You'll never know who you might meet, but at the same time, you need to make sure before you go to college, make sure you're set for anything. Financial aid ain't gonna pay for food. You gotta pay. Meal plans are $2,000-$3,000, and that's for like 16 meals a semester. But you need to save back money for food. If you got a car, you need to make sure you can commute back and forth. For gas, you need to check up on your car. Do not sit at college, not check up on your car, but you go buy shoes, you go buy outfits, you go buy clothes. No, people. This is the time for you to actually show your parents that you can live on your own. And you literally show them you can't. Because look, you walked in with no debt and you walked out with plenty of it. That's the bummer of the situation. And it's like, well, my parents couldn't do nothing for me. I had to go to school. No, you did not. College ain't for everybody. A lot of people, you may be valedictorian, salutatorian, or pescatorian, whatever you want to call it. College is ran like a business. These people don't slow down. A lot of times you may have to do one-on-one sessions with them. You might have to go to tutoring. You might have to talk to them in person to actually understand the concepts of what they're saying. Because a college campus moves quick. It doesn't wait. It's not direction. It's not so handheld based like how high school and elementary and middle school are. They don't have time for that. They need to try to get as much info as they trying to get to you in that 30 minutes or 45 minutes they got you in that class. Because some classes are shorter than others. And it depends on if you have lab or lecture for the classes. But as I said, people, not to get too much off topic, financial aid can only cover so much. So make sure if you're going to college, tell your parents or anything, like, I give you the money. Just if you really get temptation like that, if you really just got to spend money just because you see it, tell your parents, make you an account You give them some money to put in your account every month or every 2 weeks or whenever you get paid. You keep putting that money in there, building it, you'll be probably $10,000-$20,000 up going to college. Meaning you can pay probably your first 2 semesters just by that. Without you having to go run here or run there. And then you make sure if this is something that you want to do, you putting all your time and consideration and building money. That's what you need to focus on. You don't need to spend anything but necessities. You don't need to buy that. If you talking about going back to school, all that fun, all that stuff is cut down because every single dollar counts. You can't just keep doing the same thing you were doing. And you talking about going back to school or you talking about going to college. You have to get right. Because I promise you, those administrators are not trying to hear about your financial situation. What I told you they're going to do if you trying to come to them about not having no money, you're going to get a work study job that doesn't even pay remotely even 5% of what you owe. Like I said, they're going to offer you a bunch of loans. And they're going to make it sound so sweet. Oh, the interest rate is this and that and that and that. And it won't apply to you until a year. You ain't being smart right now. You not paying on the loan. You got the money, you getting grant checks and everything. You just blowing it. You got the money on your own. Don't ain't money be serving it. Like you doing it. You ain't paying your tuition. For the young adults out there, people, y'all tell your parents. If your parents ain't on this, let them know immediately. You need to have money saved up. Start getting your parent money now. 10th grade, 9th grade, start getting your parent money now. Or if not, when you get old enough, get yourself an account. This is for the people that are not disciplined enough to own their own account. Because if they see the money, they're going to take it out. So give it to your parents. They got you. I promise you, they won't take no money out. If they do, hopefully they put it back in there. But people, it's time to be responsible. You going out to the world by yourself, everything ain't going to help you. Once you get out on your own, that government assistance is not as much as people think it is. That's why I said people make college seem like it's just the golden dome. You have to really apply yourself. And if you really got your heart set on like, I really want to do this specific thing, then you go do it. I'm not telling nobody, I won't never discourage somebody to go further their education. I love people going to learn knowledge. I don't want you to go at your own expense and you go down there and you get put on your head. And now you back with no plan. You working at McDonald's or Hibbett Sport or Walmart, being a door greeter. First you need to start is saving. Saving and putting back in high interest savings account. The one that I use is LI Bank. Their rates are 0.2% annual yield. You can't beat that. But people, this is what I'm telling y'all now. Y'all have to make sure that y'all put yourselves in a guaranteed state to win, not just out here frolicking around and playing it like it's something to play with. It's a lot of people that done went to college and literally spent years and years and years and didn't graduate. And now you gotta put that on your application. It looks bad. I'm just gonna be honest. But at the same time, people, it's just, you have to apply yourself in every form or facet in your life. The financial aid is not gonna help you. Financial aid only covers a crumb of your expenses in college, especially if you stand on campus. And not only that, another thing too I would like to let y'all know, always check your account summary. Look for the charges, how much they're charging you for tuition. Tuition is lower if you're a part-time student than like a full-time student. Because a part-time student, you have to have, I think, at least about 6 credits and all. And I think I'm not sure how most colleges ran. I think full-time tuition is 8 or 10 credits and all. But you need to make sure your numbers and all that stuff are adding up and it making sense. And making sure them people are not overcharging y'all for things that they shouldn't even be charging y'all for. I got charged for technology fee, meaning they charged me just for using the website. And I'm like, what? How? That ain't my fault. I didn't even make the website. Why am I getting charged a technology fee? And that's about $50, $60, $70. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. You got different fees on there that is in your account summary that you gotta pay every single time. It's time for you to get your bill this semester. And if you're not financially sharp, you don't want to be one of them people with them sad stories with the violin playing in the back. I don't know what happened. I was just trying to go to school and actually become somebody, and they didn't tell me nothing. They didn't encourage me to go do nothing for myself, and I don't know what to do, and it's hard for me. It's like, yo. You definitely don't want to be one of them people doing that. Cause it's a lot of them. Trust and believe. Ask them what they were doing while they was in school. The exact opposite, which led them to be in that position. It's no time to cry now. You done wasted years at a university that you wanted to go to. So it's like, yikes. It's wild. You gotta be careful with your choices, people, because money is not expendable, especially if you don't have it. You can't just go to a private university or an Ivy League school and thinking like, well, I just thought I was just gonna go there and class hard. You know what we went and did? Man, we was stressed out. Man, we went and smoked. We went and partied. Man, we went and drunk. We ain't got time for that work, bro. I ain't finna be stressed out on that work, crying and doing all that. We went to party. Yeah, we had parties every weekend. Party over here. And now look at you. Your face slumped over. A lot of them people that you was partying with, they graduated and you didn't. Now you in debt. Working at a low-end job, thinking about your accomplishment and what you aspire to be. It ain't funny, but it's funny though, because it's like you can't blame nobody but yourself. It's people out here literally putting themselves deep into a hole. For what? What's the reason? It's everybody else's fault but yours. How can you maintain it? You don't even have the college mindset. You got a high school level mind of thinking. Yo, spending sucks. You not trying to build. It's people out here that's getting accepted into 22 schools. It's a young man, I don't know his name. He had a $1 million scholarship in total. I wish I could be the student that he was. And I'm proud of that young man. I'm glad to see young black men and women growing up heavily educated, and I hope he actually used that opportunity to grow and channel something into what he's doing. And I appreciate that. And I hope he keep going with his success. And that's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to put yourself in a position academically early. So therefore, when you get to the big stage, the main stage, which is college, you'll be smooth sailing. Yeah, and you'll have a bunch of people that want to fool with you and be around and, oh yeah, you think you so smart and all that. Pay them no mind. You're going to always have people that have something to say about you or hate on you about something. But at the same time, if you really got passion for it, you got a heart for this thing that you really had your mind set for, when you went to school and when you open your eyes up and you put on your clothes, you brush your teeth, you wake up and head up out the door. Ask yourself, what is your purpose for doing this? Do you have a purpose, a clear purpose for waking up and going to school? Or you just going because you want to keep with the game? You trying to see what some females or some men out, some boys out there that you really like for real. You trying to go out there and see what you can pull. Ask yourself, what is your purpose before you walk in these people's doors? Because then they get your money. Ain't no refund. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's a lot of times, because a lot of people be saying like, you know, they go to different little functions like that. And ain't nothing wrong with doing it. Ain't nothing wrong with doing the little functions or, you know, getting up, growing, you know, getting up and just going out a little bit to get a little breather. Make sure you're together. Make sure your stuff makes sense. If you got a bunch of work to do, bunch of classes to do, you think you finna get up and go out to eat? You think I'm finna get up and go to the game? You think I'm finna get up and go to a party? You're about to flunk. They're about to kick you out. Financial aid doesn't stop them people from taking your money. Neither does it stop them from evicting you out their dormitory. Young adults, as hopefully some of the stories that you heard, it kind of shifts your mindset of how you feel about college. College is not a toy. It is not a game. It is not for fun. They will take your money and you will have nothing to your name but college stories to tell people with no diploma. So do with that what you will, and I hope for my parents that are listening to this, please make sure you prescribe your child and send them down the right path of actually getting a college education in something that will be comfortable in, and as something that would be profitable to them as well. And with all that being said, people, that is the end of this episode. We made it. And in show notes, people, we got the YouTube link down there. Go subscribe to the YouTube page. I'm trying to do a little giveaway for y'all. Y'all ain't got it up yet. Next thing y'all know, the next episode or whatever episode I hit that goal on, which I want 100 subscribers. No, I feel like y'all can do 1,000. I want 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. If y'all can do that for me, I promise you. And then that makes me go into it. I promise you, y'all be hearing my voice more a lot. I'll probably be doing little Zoom calls, helping y'all out. If y'all have like a little situation or problem y'all want to get off y'all chest and discuss, y'all can be able to talk to me personally or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, y'all gotta support me so I can support y'all. And with that being said, follow me on Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever else you get your podcast on. And Google Podcast, people. Don't forget about Google. I don't know if they still have it because it said something about it being shut down, but Amazon Music, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. And with all that being said, I'll see y'all in the next episode.